This cookie recipe is served at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort in Walt Disney World. We'll start with flour, baking soda, and salt. I know you're supposed to sift the flour mixture, but I never sift, and I've never gotten bad results. I never sift. We'll take some softened butter, and then we'll microwave some more softened butter because I didn't have enough. Packed brown sugar. And this is where I messed up. I was supposed to add powdered sugar at this step and mix all the sugars and butter together to make the creamiest dough possible. I did not, and I think I paid for it in texture later on. This is me finally getting my act together, but like I said, it still wasn't right. I should have done it properly from the beginning. And then I leave these in the bowl to mix for like 5 minutes. It makes the creamiest, pillowiest dough ever. Not better. I didn't say that, Mom. Just creamier. A couple of eggs. Look at that. Barely looking, one-handed. Some vanilla. Set the oven because this new oven takes a long time to heat up. And then we're just going to mix, mix, mix. I think the first time I ever made chocolate chip cookies, I was about 5 or 6. We made cookies all the time in my house. That's one of my childhood memories right there. Add the flour in a little bit at a time once you've got all the wet ingredients. Just a little bit, but you don't have to wait for the flour to become completely incorporated before you add in more. You just have to make sure you're not overloading the mixer. This does take quite a bit of patience, I'm not going to lie. Still going. More flour. Forever flour. I clean up as I go so I don't put my elbow in egg. I've done that before. And I believe in waste not, want not. I add a whole bag of chocolate chips. If you're going for generic, I like the Walmart generic. If you're not willing to spend money on the good stuff, gotta check them for poison. No poisonous effects yet. I better try again. Thank you, Mr. Mixer. You did a great job. Or is it Miss or Mix? I don't want to misgender you. It takes a lot of muscle sometimes to mix up chocolate chips. This one's an easier batch. I do remember one time when I was living in Andorra, which is a tiny country in the Pyrenees between Spain and France, and a friend of mine and we stayed up for half the night making what he called cowboy cookies. Cowboy cookies are like chocolate chip cookies, but with like a ton of oatmeal thrown in, and that was the toughest I've ever had to stir anything in my life. To pass the time, we sang Disney songs, and we broke 3 wooden spoons because that dough was just so thick. One of us had to hold the bowl, and the other one stirred with both hands on the wooden spoon. Didn't help. We still broke 3. Very good times, and very good cookies. This cookie sheet is older than I am. I can never tear these things right. But after using parchment paper a few times, I will never go back to making cookies without it. Makes cleanup a breeze. Gosh, I sound like I advertise a lot, don't I? It's fine. Someday somebody might pay me to advertise. This space here available for advertising. Click it 3 times to make sure it's working. Growing up, we always made 12 cookies per sheet. It wasn't until I met my beautiful wife that I learned the true way of doing things. Right now you're thinking, how are you ever going to fit 12 cookies on this tray? Put them in the space between. Count them. That's 13. A baker's dozen. Amazing. It's also amazing that there was any dough left for cookies with how much I ate. Yes, I use a clean spoon every time. And it's okay, we've got a dishwasher. Set a timer for 12 minutes. And in the meantime, what do you do for 12 minutes? Well, whatever you can. There were a lot of dishes that don't go in the dishwasher, and I don't want to be one of those cooks who leaves all my dishes. Sorry, honey, I sometimes still do that. And then I studied Japanese because I'm going to Japan next year, and I'd really like to be able to say something besides konnichiwa and arigato. Still not poisonous, but you just can't be too careful. Yes, another clean spoon. I know you were worried about that. These cookies turned out really nice. I'll put the link in the description. Let them cool on a wire rack. Growing up, my family had an over-exaggerated sense of fairness. I don't know how that came to be, but we always had to count the cookies and make sure everybody was getting their quote-unquote fair share. And I would usually eat mine the exact same day so that nobody could steal them from me later on. We had an over-exaggerated sense of fairness except for when the cookies had been sitting on the counter for a while. Then they were not fair game, but temptation. So these cookies, delicious. Not as good as other times I've made them because, like I said, I messed up the sugar in the beginning. But as you can see, it didn't stop me from eating my fill of them. And we had 2 more trays of these, so don't think I ate all of them and left my kids with none. Everybody was well sugared up by the end of the night. Of course, they go well with milk, but also, what cookie doesn't go well with milk? And I justified eating more and more by saying that cookie is too ugly to serve to somebody else. And then I would eat the next ugliest in line, even if my daughter said she wanted that one because it was slightly bigger or had more chips visible. What I'm getting most out of this video is that my belly is larger than I'd like it to be. I'm gonna have to do something about that. And the cookies aren't helping. After eating so many cookies and diving headfirst into a bowl of cookie dough, there's one thing I really need to do. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See y'all next week when I finish my Disneyland trip report with a report about California Adventure. Till then.